Hey, how are you? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I cannot hear you. Sorry. No. No, I cannot hear you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Maybe there's some microphone where I cannot do it. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, of course. Of course. Hi, Teresa. Okay. No, cannot hear you. No, no, I cannot hear you. Oh, there's something with the mic. Oh, just a moment. No, I cannot unmute you. Can you? No, I cannot hear you. Huh? No, just a moment, Teresa. Uh, no, Teresa, I cannot hear you. No. No, I cannot hear you. No. I'm sorry, I cannot hear you. Okay. Okay. Mhm.
Okay, how about now?
Oh, I can hear you now.
Yeah, and I can hear you.
Sorry about that, Teresa. Really apologize.
No, I don't know how to do
Yeah,
it.
it's
So
okay. For
this
me,
is
technology also is so new, especially coming from Eastern Europe. Thank you for keeping this call. So yeah, we're working on the module 18, and I like your input about the stuff. I like your comment. I was shocked when I read it, but actually, that's the way it is. We have to support each other. I don't want to keep much of your time. We're going to keep the questions very quickly, if you don't mind. We're going to read.
not at all.
Okay. So first is think about the challenge you were having. What was happening at that time, considering the property management and the things in Florida. You said.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Please
So
share your thoughts. I'm on record. That's why you said I'm on record. Don't worry.
okay, what I did was I asked my friends who have it, and what they said their biggest challenge are the homeowners association special assessments for damages to building
Mm-hmm.
from faulty construction
Mm-hmm.
or the maintaining the property as the board changes and makes new demands.
Mm-hmm.
The homeowners fees included maintenance, but boards failed to collect enough monies to pay for painting and other maintenances. And they thought those were the big three challenges that they faced.
Mm-hmm.
And it bothered them because the money required was always unexpected and more than the budget allowed. So
Mm-hmm.
they didn't know what was happening.
I see.
The solutions, what solutions did they try to solve this challenge? They tried attending the board meetings. And let's see, what did not work and what happened as a result?
Yes,
Not
exactly.
not enough people would show up at meetings.
How much is the
So
United States? Sorry to bother you. In British Columbia, Canada, you need to have 30% of the owners. How much is the United States in Florida?
they're lucky if they can get, I think it's a quorum, so whatever percentage.
You don't
So they
know.
have to have it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same
So,
here. People are not showing up and they think that the property management company or the council or board, which it says United States, they have to do everything for free and they get upset. Why is this? Why is that? But technically, everything is designed that you as a community to decide, not
right.
somebody else from outside, aliens and stuff. And that's the people who don't understand this mindset that, oh, I'm becoming an owner, but it's not only the benefits, it's the responsibility. And that's why bless you, bless you. And
Thank
that's
you.
why Joe was saying that there's no magic wand. There's only us which we have to do the job. And if I'm just advising you, it doesn't mean that you're gonna come back to me. You can come back to me anytime you want, but I'm gonna still charging you for my time because the idea is that you get it, and it's not rocket science. As you said, it's a budget, it's a monitoring. You need to progress. We said here depreciation reports, which means that you can forecast what's going to happen. I don't know whether in the States you have such a depreciation report, so do you have it?
I think that they do, because I
They
had
do.
I lived in a, yeah, I lived in a homeowners association at one time, and they did.
They did. So
So,
you can, yeah, you can project there is a, that what's going to happen in 5, 10 years, 20 years. I have such a question recently on Monday, and my manager created it based on the report, because we here cannot make that report. We can only take the engineers and they say, okay, listen, the engineer says so. Are you willing, Your Highness, to do it? But the problem with that is the owners, the same like you, as mentioning, they don't want to proceed. They don't understand. Our job is not policing. Our job is only revealing from the heart and saying, guys, you need to do it, because you're going to pay now or you're going to pay double later. That's the idea. So yeah,
okay,
what solution
let's.
did you, obviously, yeah, you could have the question, what solution did you try to solve the challenge? What did you do?
They borrowed their money on homes to pay for the special assessments.
Okay.
So
Oh, I
they put
see.
themselves into debt. And
And,
then,
and
what
what,
would you recommend
yeah,
to others with this challenge?
yeah.
They didn't have anything to say to that one. And what are some things to look out for?
Mm-hmm.
Pay attention to who is on the board members and require background checks, because the homeowners association I was a part of, it turns out that the people had been, the president had been in jail
Oh boy.
or fraud or something like that. But what made the difference? There was none. And how did you impact your life? So,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I mean, how it's about me, how I impact your whole life, but you don't know me yet. But yeah, I'm curious. I think in Ontario only, in not British Columbia, in Ontario, in Canada, they made some licenses for the board members. I was surprised that now they are making implement, which is great, because if you're a board member, you need a license. You have to go to criminal check. In
ah,
British Columbia, they don't have it, so we might face the same issue usually. But if you go to take a mortgage, the bank gonna say, "Hey, who are you? Give me your criminal." They didn't give your history. So if you're an owner, you have to pass this test. But obviously, in states, in Florida, you don't have such a thing. So really, it's a very bad that this council. But we have a case here. I've heard that a council member took the money, put them in a stock and bond, lost it. He get away. It's, I mean, it's the money of the owners. Can you imagine? I mean, it's only one case which I've heard, but the problem is that again, the board members sometimes are overpowered, and the only way to stop them it's you go to court and small claim, or the other which we say it's small claim court, or the big court, which is Supreme Court, and then you go against them. Now they implement a new structure like in Australia, in British Columbia, online court, which is very interesting. It's called Civil Resolution Tribunal. Nevertheless, in my country, tribunal means something else from our past
mhm.
historical. The communists did use this word very ugly, but here it's a legally something very positive. Any owner like you get frustrated, see some stuff, they put online 125 Canadian dollars, and they start a legal case officially against whether it's a board member, whether it's us, the property managers, anybody. Unless they have the documents, they can just put it and go. But here, obviously, there you have to go through a court procedure. Lawyer is going to charge you a lot, and you give up. And the most easiest thing is just sell it and go away. If you can sell it, actually, because the realtor gonna ask questions, then the new owner gonna ask questions, and you cannot hide it. So yeah, did you decide to move out from there? What did you say about the challenge? This challenge when you couldn't
uh,
save it?
um, I had left by then, so I had nothing to do with it. But my friends had faced foreclosure because they didn't pay the assessments,
Okay.
and then the fines started going up. And
Oh,
during the recession of 2008, when there were a
oh,
lot of foreclosures, if they didn't pay the uh, the homeowners fees, the foreclosures would be done within 30 days. So they lost all of their equity and things like that.
So sad to hear that. So sad. It's here the same. Usually owners, the new owners are going to the new properties where it's completely different story, but there they don't have this threat. So yeah, the only thing you can do is really hire a lawyer, but it's going to be expensive unless the lawyer doesn't agree to get paid after the result. I'm not sure whether it's possible for your friend, or she didn't have time for that.
Yeah, but her fines, she said, had already gone up a lot, and she talked them into lowering it. And then she tried to make the changes because hers are cosmetic, like the yard. You know, they wanted. She likes to put butterfly plants outside for the butterflies, and it gets wild and crazy. So she's having to trim the trees and things like that. So she didn't really like that too much. Another friend, the structural part of it, when they were building it, they built it wrong. And they wound up with 2 rooms and wood that had to be redone and drywall and water everywhere. So, and that wasn't covered by insurance because it was pre-existing. So they paid for that too. So because it's their property.
You have a lot of issues there too. The same here with the new owners, new properties. I've heard I have only old ones, so it seems like better ones because they don't have this structural so much structural issues. But really, you have to be very aware in the community where you're buying. But how do you know if you read the minutes, or let's say, how are you going to know? I mean, you always have to know that. I mean, after that, it's very difficult. But really, the only thing is maybe to hire somebody like we have home inspectors. And sometimes people are skipping this information, but even the community, you can hire them and say, give me your estimate, or maybe 2 home inspectors, and then they can say, oh, be careful here, run away. And even you don't buy it, you spend the money, at least you save your learning curve, as you said. That's the only thing. Nevertheless, it's a community. Sometimes I have requests from home inspectors to go on the roof, to go on the inside the mechanical room. Some of the board members say yes, some of them say no. And that's the trick part here. Maybe it's better to go in a property where you have the access to these mechanical rooms, roofs and stuff, because if you don't know nothing in the minutes, the minutes they don't say everything, and deliberately don't say everything. I'm a property manager. Sometimes I said, hey guys, you need to say this. No, don't worry, it's our minutes. We will not publish it. And then down the road, people start asking questions, but it's very careful legally. You have to be very consistent with the law. If you're not an owner, Teresa, I cannot say nothing. Technically, I can say, yes, we might think about it. Maybe yes, maybe no, which is also tricky. Because if you become an owner, then you're going to be upset on me. But the law says no. You specifically here in Canada, maybe in States it's the same. No, when we are dealing with the registered owners, those who are not, they can reach out to you if you have a chance, and then maybe you have a chit chat, but that's all. And you have to be very careful. So yeah, I don't know. Do you have any extra questions about British Columbia or anything about my program? My program is actually technically practical. What you can do before the community starts, insurance right away. And as you said to your friend, if the insurance doesn't cover it, I mean, obviously she cannot do it after she signed the papers, but maybe she can sell it and move out. I don't know what to say that. It's very sad.
Yeah, well, one of the things is that when you get your program done and you've gotten everything you wanted, if the basics can apply to here, I'll be happy to tell everybody to check it out. And to invest in it.
Thank you, Teresa. Yeah, thank you.
There's a lot of homeowners associations all over our area, and they're not building communities anymore that are not homeowners associations. If any new building is going on, they all have an HOA.
Oh, yeah, I see. So yeah, I mean, he's called Condominium Homeowners Association. but it's a kind of very educational program, and they're explaining exactly what it says, what is the act say, which is called in British Columbia Strata Property Act, not Condominium Act, like in the rest of Canada. I don't know how maybe in States it's called the Condominium Act. In Australia it's called Strata also. It's very, very nearby, but in Europe you don't have such a thing. Let's say in England doesn't have it, which is very weird, but I've heard that there was a referendum to the owners and they say, no, we don't have it. But they don't have such an issue like we have here. Because here I've heard the same. There is a many new buildings, they have the same thing. I mean, and in order to start a litigation to a developer, building developer who structured it, it's a nightmare. You have to go through legal processes, 100,000 to 500,000. Who's gonna have it? You're a new owner. You have to start with litigation, and they're blaming property manager. Oh, you are covering the builder. No, we're not covering. We're just in the buffer zone. The law says you have to be buffer. You don't have left or right. You don't make a decision here. In states, as I know, the property manager like me take the budget and just do the budget. That's all. But here we cannot do that. Even this we cannot do that. Everything goes to the board members, and you should be put in the minutes, or at least in front of the owners, as you said, annual general meeting, and say, okay, we vote, we don't vote, it's not done. And really the government comes at the end, very, very end, when it starts become very ugly, when, let's say, many things are not done after 20 years or 40 years, then they can come and appoint court administrator, which means a person, not property manager, from the court, saying to the owner, say, you have to do this, you don't have money, you sell, you move out. It's very ugly at the end. If you don't fall, it's like the body. If we don't take care about body, like today, the session, which was with our mentor, then you're going to end up dying. I mean, it's the same with the building. If you don't follow the maintenance, then at the end of the day, you're going to pay much more money than everything you would have paid before. And that's the education, the self-education, because you think, oh, I'm buying community, I don't care, somebody else is going to take care. I'm entitled somebody to service me. Not exactly. Because you as an owner have a vote, you're paying maintenance fee, but you're still in charge. You have to be kind of proactive as you are and saying, oh, I have to know this, I have to know that, where I can learn it. You have to back the property manager there and say, give me information, give me information. If you don't know, tell me who can give me. It's not like staying and doing nothing, because later on you're gonna really regret of that. Hopefully this session is okay for you. It's very short. Thank you very much. And I'm gonna send you the link if you want, and I'll use it for my future program. Yeah, this video, if you don't mind. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye, Teresa. Thank you for your time. Thank you.